Oh, there we go. Welcome back, JCTV for the culture. We got culture talk today. Brother Rob in the building. Say what's up, man. It's been a minute, man. I haven't seen you. You haven't been on in a minute. What's been going on?
Yeah, just been busy. You know what I'm saying? Getting to it. You know what I'm saying? Kids always keeping me busy. But yeah, everything's been good this way. Everything good your way?
Taking off to Columbia, man. Down there watching the lady watching spring practice.
Yeah.
Something like that, man.
It's that time of year, you know what I'm saying? Dawn and the girls, they're about to shine, you know what I'm saying?
Man, I thought my girls were back on track, man. Cause again, for everybody that knows, Lady Vols are my favorite volunteer team of all time. Coach Pat, Coach Summit. And I thought we were on our way back, but this year
I did too.
We took a step back, man. I'm trying to figure out what it is and what's going on with it. I think she's gonna get it figured out. She got to get it figured out.
Well, it all comes back to culture, man. It all comes back to culture.
She got it, and you know what? That is absolutely right, because I'm not gonna say anybody's name, but I'm friends with some icons and legends over there who, that's what they said, and they said that's what we have to fix is culture. I didn't see that from the outside looking in, and but then once it was said to me, I started to go back and look at certain stuff that is said in the media. And then once somebody, how when you get somebody pointed out, you see a certain card, now you keep seeing that same thing over and over. Once it was pointed out to me, I was like, okay, I see what you're saying right now. So, but we're going to get it fixed. Danny, they're going to get it fixed. If they don't, we'll be, doing this again.
Yeah.
But college basketball needs the Lady Vols to get right. I need them to get right. So, but yeah, man. What happened in the this isn't okay, let's talk about sports, but I sprinkle a little bit of it in. What happened in the tournament against Texas, man? I thought y'all were gonna run away with that thing again. What happened?
Hey, I give Texas all the credit in the world. They had a strategy from start to finish. You know what I'm saying? They wanted to slow the pace down. They kind of got us a little bit frazzled a little bit. Their defense was on point.
Yeah.
So I got to give it to them. You know what I'm saying? We went 1-2 this season against Texas. So we may end up seeing them again. You know what I'm saying? Texas, they definitely deserve the love they're getting right now.
Yeah. Yeah. So did y'all split like home and because y'all
during the regular season? Yeah.
Yeah. So it's going to be neutral site again. So you see if you see him again, obviously. So it's the best time of the year, man. I'm about to get off sports, y'all. We didn't I be telling everybody I don't like talking about sports, then I'm sitting here talking about sports.
Man. It's natural. It's all good.
But we got a lot of pop culture stuff going on, man. We had, just to kind of give y'all a little bit of a rundown, some of the stuff we want to cover today. We just had the Oscars this weekend. We just had Sinners. I have thoughts about that. So I'm happy, but still have some thoughts and some concerns about what we saw there. I'm looking at percentages. We'll get into that.
Okay.
And that's why I'm gonna get my man Mike. He's been on me about wanting to talk about movies and TV ever since we started, and he's not even here today. So I want to talk about Paradise, man, because love a pop culture moment, love a TV show that people, water cooler moments, stuff you could talk about, things you can just, because remember I told you, I think I put you on the Paradise,
yeah,
right?
You did. Yeah, you did.
So I was like, this is one of those that'll get you. I'm gonna see if they're gonna keep you. We're gonna talk about how they're gonna keep you. Then I want to talk a little bit just about music, and that I haven't had a panel, like a real good discussion, even a one-on-one. Me and Mike talked a little bit, but discussion about music, what's happened in the early part of 26 and what's happening in the second half, or, we just finished up the first quarter, about to finish up the first quarter, but the rest of 2026, some interesting stuff going on music-wise. And then, go ahead.
I was going to say some rumblings going on. That's it.
Yeah, there's some rumblings going on. And then I need to spin the block. I need to circle back on two things. I had this conversation. I think last week I had let's talk about sports. Talking about my Lakers and being better. without LeBron. And man, the Bron fans especially on TikTok, they were nice to me on Facebook and other play because I think they saw everything I said.
Mm-hmm.
The good thing about TikTok is you get these quick hitters, but then the bad thing about TikTok is you get these quick hitters and you don't hear the entire point. But I have a follow-up to them that I want to get. And then we'll hear your thoughts on Bam's 83, which I initially defended. I have more thoughts on it right now today. So that's a little tee up about what we want to cover tonight. Whatever else comes up as we get through it. So let's see. Like I said, the first thing, let's get to this. Get to the Oscars. So well, first, let me ask you. So you obviously you saw Sinners, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Give me your thoughts on and not just the movie itself, because Sinners is bigger than a movie. This was one of these like events. Mm-hmm. It was a movement. It sparked a lot of discussion outside. It did a lot of things that just regular movies don't do. And this is what great movies and great moments and why you go to the theater and like you can just remember things about that. Talk to me about Sinners and what you feel, what you think about it.
Oh yeah, it was kind of what you were saying as far as like, a cultural piece, you know what I'm saying? It has qualities to that movie that's going to, stand the test of time. It's going to be one of the things that we talk about, 10, 15, 20 years down the road, as far as like the impact that Sinners had. And I think it's funny when I still come across people every so now and again that's like, I didn't think it was a good vampire movie, that kind of thing. It's like, if you still think it's a vampire movie, you know what I'm saying? You really don't get it. Man. You really don't get it. Yeah. But nah, so, I mean, everything from, if you just want to see the things, not even on the deeper level, but just look at the acting was on point. The set pieces was on point. And then, I think Delroy, aside from Michael B., Delroy and Miles, man, they just absolutely crushed the roles that they was in. But yeah, as far as like the culture, and the bigger picture, it was one of those movies that definitely stuck with me. I still remember sitting in the theater for that, the musical timepiece they had, traveling different cultures, man, that had me like in a trance, watching that whole scene play out. Yeah. So yeah. It's definitely going to be one of those movies that has that great impact. That's going to be, like 15, 20 years down the road.
And just even that part about the musical, because usually if you want me to check out, if you want me to stop paying attention, 100%. Or you want me, you do a musical in the middle of a movie, but it fit in the way they did it. Because again, even the performance at the Oscars they performed. I don't know if it was the piece from the movie, but they did. Yeah. So that like it fit, it made sense, and just the cultural piece of it. And it's funny you say that about the people thinking it's a vampire movie. I was like, all right, what it reminded. And this was funny enough. It was another Coogler movie. I don't know if you remember this when Black Panther 1 came out. Mm-hmm. I had people on my timeline telling me they didn't like it because they thought it was about the Black Panthers, the Black Panther movement.
Oh, come on.
I'm dead serious, man. I think I probably have something to say. Well, I can go search in my history because I responded to. I had some very long conversations with people that were stuck on, well, man, I thought it was about the Black Panthers.
That's crazy.
So, and
I believe you, but that's crazy.
Yeah, and this is, you telling, people saying that it's not a good vampire. Man, I heard somebody actually mention Vampire in Brooklyn. I was like, I'm not talking to you. I'm not entertaining you.
Cut off.
Not having this conversation. Mm-mm. Just knock it off. But just the meaning of it. And once people, and, even watching it, because I think I saw it 2-3 times. You're gonna catch something. That's one of those movies that you can still you can catch things later that you didn't catch the first time.
And that's something I love about movies like that. That every time that you go back, you can always pick something up. You'd be like, oh snap, okay, I see how they did that. I see where they're going with this. So it's definitely one of those movies that aside from like we talked about the cultural impact, the great acting, the great cinematography, all that, it's still one of those things that just, you get something out of it every single time. You should get something out of it every single time you watch it.
Yeah, and that's a great point because a lot of times you'll get something that has cultural impact, but it's not. It isn't as technically sound as this. It didn't have like the timepiece, like the people who've been acknowledged for what they did with the set, what they did with the clothing, what they did with everything around this. Like you said, the music and it was a good move because you get vice the other side of that too. You have all this technical stuff and the movie's just not that good. You just had a bunch of that come together in this movie. It was all, just there.
Yeah.
Now my problem with the Oscars. So 16 nominations. 16. And you see, as you can see, there were 25% winners. So you had Michael B. Jordan. Let's start, and I'm gonna save him for last because I want to roll into him. So you had Ryan Coogler, obviously best original screenplay. I think the work he did, because he was much more than just a writer producer. This was just his whole, even the marketing of this, everything he did with this movie. I think he deserved more than one Oscar for that.
100%.
That's where there's two big egregious things here. You mentioned Delroy Lindo earlier. He deserved to win that Oscar also. Like, because I don't know if I don't want to put this in the air. Like he's going to have, like, this was like he's has such a great body of work, literally.
Underappreciated body of work.
Underappreciated body of work. And I don't know if he's going to get this type of chance. I think he's such a great actor. He's going to be in something where he's going to deserve it. But I don't know if the momentum is going to be there like this was. To be able to, I think this was the time to do it.
Yeah. Especially for Delroy, because he may not get a chance. I mean, obviously, he's still going to be in stuff. He's still going to crush it every time he goes out there. But he may not, to your point, he may not ever get a chance to be in a movie that's as, big of production and have a bigger marketing behind it. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, this was definitely a moment for Delroy. We know Delroy Lindo and the work that he's done, but this was a great opportunity for a lot of people that didn't know him, didn't know his work, to be able to see him on a much bigger platform, and that unfortunately he may not get as big of a platform again going forward. So yeah, I'm with you. I feel like the body of work that he's put in, from when you hear that man's story, like hear him talk about it, struggling, coming up as an actor, you're not getting roles to, doing theater, this, that, and the third. So yeah, it would have been nice to, not to say like give it to him, but it would have been nice, because number one, he deserved it for the role that he played in Sinners, but also the body of work that he's put in up to this point.
Yeah. Agree 100%. And like I said, those are the two. Well, it's actually three, because just overall to be nominated, this movie to be nominated 16 times and only win 4. And I don't want to, because the 4 are absolutely deserved. I don't want to take away from the winners by being too negative of it. But and you see, best cinematography, of course, best the original score. Excuse me. All well deserved. Excuse me. All well deserved. And then, of course, Michael B. Jordan, best actor. And me and you talked a little bit about this before we started off screen. It's like he has, and you can see his trajectory and like from Fruitvale Station, just like he's just started, even in what he did in Black Panther. He Killmonger. he made like that. People want to bring him back from the dead. Like they don't want to see him go. So, well, before I get into my Michael B, like, just give me your thoughts on just him winning, and just, what you think of him as an actor, because, like I said, I have some additional thoughts about that too. So.
Yeah. So it's just been real crazy in a good way. I'll say that, to kind of watch his ascension. I think he's around 39, 40 years old. So he's just a little bit younger than me, somewhere around there. So I've seen a lot of his stuff, coming up. And my late 20s, mid 20s, that kind of thing, and just kind of seeing the smaller roles that he had, be like, oh, okay, that's that dude from this, that, the third, you know what I'm saying? To see where he's at now, you know what I'm saying? Blockbuster films, A-list celebrity, you know, being talked about, you know what I'm saying, in all the great positive ways you see as far as like A-listers do. And I remember even seeing him, you know, outside of The Wire. I think one of the very first films I saw him in. Good movie, real underrated movie. I don't know if you've seen Chronicle.
I haven't seen Chronicle. No,
you should go back. I think you would really like it. You know, you should put it on your watch list. But just seeing him in that movie, you know what I'm saying, just kind of like, okay, you know what I'm saying. And that movie came out like 2011, 2012. So it's been out for a good little minute, but he just kind of stood out. And so you could kind of see even, you know, 15, 20 years ago where he got now, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So even though it's in a little way, it's kind of hard to believe that he became this big, but you could always kind of see, you know, the talent was there from day one. Talent was there.
Yeah. And I see I've put up the picture because for everybody who does not know, for me, the greatest television show of all time is The Wire. I've watched The Wire from beginning to end multiple times, at least one time a year since it's ended, and then since the initial run ended. So I'm very familiar with like in Michael B. Jordan and Wallace. And if you know The Wire, you know Wallace. And there were a bunch of young actors, even the group, you know, they were kids at the time that he was hanging around with. That if you had asked me which one of them would have gone on to be a big actor to the level that he is right now, I would not have picked them. Now, that's not to knock him. It's just the role he was given, and just like it was killed in the first season, I think. So he didn't have a chance to show it, but you saw glimpses of other people. So that just, for me, I say that to say the work that he put in after he left that show. And, you know, movies like what you're talking about, which I'm going to put it on my list to go see, but you could see him and the work he put in.
Oh, yeah. I mean, definitely credit to him because, you know what I'm saying, a lot of people, especially black actors, they don't get, you know what I'm saying, a lot of opportunities to credit to him. Every single thing that's been put in front of him, he's knocked it out the park. Yeah. Even a lot of the smaller roles, talking about, you know, you mentioned Wallace from The Wire, even some of the other films where he had just a small little part in it. Yeah. You just saw that ascension, you know what I'm saying? Every single time he was on camera, he just knocked it out the park every time.
And even with Sinners, I had to keep, and me and my wife talked about this, I had to keep reminding myself that was the same person, that the twins were played by the same person.
Yeah, yeah.
He did a thing, like, you know, and I think it was either today, I heard Joe Button, they were talking about on the podcast to where it was little things that he did, like one of them something he would just do to distinguish. Like you could see the different personalities but even when you would think that, oh, that's just the same person with two different personalities. He's an actor. You could just, you know, kind of minimize it with that. But he made it, they walk different. They had different, it seemed like two different.
It was two different people.
Yeah. Well, we called the Oscar that when we were in the midway through the movie, I was like, oh yeah, he's winning an Oscar for that. So I don't get any points for calling that one because that was pretty obvious.
Yeah, it was pretty obvious. And I'm just happy to see that, you know, I don't see a lot of chatter talk that people say, oh, they just gave it to him. They gave it to him. No, he went out there. He earned that. 100%.
So, you know, and that put him in the stratosphere because, you know, and the list is so short. Every time, like it, and even in the last, I guess it's 10 years or so, for the longest time, it was just Sidney Poitier. And then I did Forrest or Denzel win. I think Denzel won his before. What was the?
I think Forrest came first.
Forrest came first, which is crazy. Not knocking him, but Denzel should have won one before he did.
Plenty of times.
The fact that the one that he won it for, people. I'm not gonna turn this to a negative thing, but
why Denzel have to be crooked before he took it?
Right, man. Come on, just knock it off. Like, so you got Sidney Poitier, you got Forrest Whitaker, you have Denzel, Jamie, Will, Michael B. Jordan.
There you go.
That's it. But you think of all I do have a question for you. Who do you? So for one, shout out to all those that were in that time period who didn't win one. There's a bunch like Eddie should have won one for Dreamgirls.
Yeah.
Eddie should have absolutely won for Dreamgirls. He got robbed for that. I think he knows it. I don't know what role he's going to have to where he's going to have another chance. But similar to this, it had such momentum as a movie. That was the time for it to happen. And it didn't. I don't want to, because I'll be sitting here, I'm going to miss somebody. There's a lot of other actors that, black actors that could have gotten that. Who do you think is going to be the next one? Ooh. I know there's the obvious, there's one obvious one.
Who you got as obvious?
Dempsey.
Oh yeah. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. He's the next one up.
Yeah.
For sure.
Trying to think of who else. See here. I'm trying to find an American. So the Reds. Oh man, who's up and coming?
I think you got me stumped right now.
I stumped myself. I should have, if I known I was going to, bring that up, I would have done some research and been.
Oh, well, I'm kind of surprised he hadn't gotten more. Remember that dude from what's his name? The guy that played the revamp Star Wars.
Oh, but he's British too.
Oh, that's right.
I know you talk. I can't remember his name, but yeah, I thought about him. But he's a Brit too.
Okay. What about Yaya? He's not British, is he?
He's not. There you go.
Okay.
So he's another one.
We got one.
Yeah,
we got one.
Because he killed Wonder Man.
Yeah,
he did a great job in Wonder Man. So yeah, we got one right there.
Definitely got
one.
So that is crazy now that I'm thinking about it. Most of them dudes is British because you got Aaron Pierre, he's British.
Yep. Is he? Aaron Pierre British?
Yeah.
I didn't know he was British. You sure about that?
I'm pretty positive. Let me do a quick little check. I'm pretty sure he is British.
Hold up. Look. Yeah, do it. Hold up. I don't wait a minute. I don't think he's British.
He's British, born in London, England.
I haven't seen him with the accent. I would have missed that one. I lost that one. See, now I got to circle back. I got to find. We got to have more than just y'all. We got to have.
That is crazy.
Oh man,
that's crazy. We only got one that I can think of off the top.
Right off the top of my head, there's only one. We of course we lost Chadwick. He was gonna win one. Man, see, that's a sad state of affairs. Well, actually, I think that's a good and. Dang it, I can't remember this brother's name. He's more TV right now. This is a good segue. Speaking of black actors, this will take us right into Paradise.
Oof, okay.
Paradise. Like this brother here, what's his name? What's his name? He was. I know he was
Sterling.
Sterling K. Martin. Sterling. I do know his name. Sterling K. Martin. Sterling is not he's not young, but he is fairly young. He's not like he can win one too. So so he's really good. So just to put a ball on that, congratulations to Sinners, to Ryan Coogler, to Michael B. Jordan, Dara Lindo, Haley Stansfield, who said she claimed black, even though she technically is. So shout out to her too.
She got like a fifth or a sixth.
But she claimed it, and she claimed it. So yes, there we go. But to a great movie, and just being to make it more like that. So, shout out to the whole Sinners movement. Now, Paradise and Mr. Sterling K. So this is for me when just this show, and again, we're talking about another like a cultural phenomenon. It's not, I won't call it fever pitch just yet, but I think it's getting there. They got a chance to really take it over the top.
Yeah,
depending on what they do with it, because and even like right now, I'm getting to some of my opinion and reviews of it because I'm still finishing up The Walking Dead. I watch Lost, watch shows like that. I'm getting a little of the vibes from both of those shows. A little Lost, little Walking Dead. What do you think about that?
Yeah, that's a great point. Because It's interesting. You never watched the Walking Dead back
No,
when it
I have.
came out? Oh, you
No.
did? Okay,
Oh,
okay,
I did. I watched it live. And then I
okay.
stopped when they got to season 10 is when I kind of veered off, and I've just
Oh
been
wow.
slowly
I
finishing
tapped
it.
out like season 5, season 6.
Yeah, I made it all the way to end of 9. Then I picked it up, so I'm in 10 right now. I'm gonna finish it. I'm gonna finish Fear.
Okay,
I'm
okay,
gonna go watch all of them. But yeah,
okay. But yeah, you're 100% right. It's definitely giving those vibes, which I'm still kind of on the fence about a little
I am
bit.
too. I am too.
It's really gonna this season. I'm gonna hold off before I give it like an overall grade because I think we got what 2 episodes left.
Um, yeah, I think
Something about
is
that.
it 10 episodes? Because I
Yeah,
think we can.
I think they
We
only
have
have.
3. We have 3.
Yeah, so I'm gonna wait to see. Like, I could talk about the show for sure, but I'm gonna wait to give it an overall grade. I
Yeah,
don't want to trash it. I just want to see how they close this season out.
yeah,
I see some potential. I definitely do
yeah.
see some potential, but I think my biggest issue I have right now with season 2 is the pace of it. What do you think?
So I, me and you, we're thinking alike because I there's some things that I want to wait and see how they tie it up
Hmm.
before I give my. Because if they go right or left, I'm either gonna trash it or love it. It's gonna
Yeah,
be it's real cut and dry. I
yeah.
think I'm either gonna trash it or love it. I understand one thing I did like they had to come out of from underground season 2.
Hmm.
They couldn't spend
No.
a whole nother season 2 mostly in the bunker.
Hmm.
Couldn't do it. Had to give us some backstory, which I like. They didn't wait till like they didn't wait 3 seasons, 4 seasons to give us some of this
Hmm.
background that they gave us. Um, when you so for your pacing issue, is it too fast or too slow for you?
A little too slow. Where I will give them credit for is how sometimes you got TV shows, they'll put in what they call like a filler episode.
Oh yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Just to stuff one in, just
yeah,
to kind of keep the season. I
yeah.
give them credit because I haven't gotten that feeling that
They haven't
they've
done
had
that
it.
yet.
Yeah, they haven't done
Yeah,
that. They found a way to, keep the story moving forward. I,
Netflix was bad with that. With the 13
yeah,
episodes, they would give you 1 or 2 of those.
yeah, especially with Stranger Things. That was crazy. Some of those, but
Yeah.
no. So I give them credit for not having those fluff filler episodes. So they've always kept that story moving forward. But it's just at times I'm like, okay, you only got what 8, 9 episodes of a season. Like let's kind of like where we going? You know what I'm
They,
saying?
they're giving us a lot of, and I think I know what you're saying with the disposition. A lot of the conversations you have where they're sitting there, where they're just talking about why something happened, about your story, and they're doing. There's a lot of dialogue
Hmm.
in certain places, but
Which I don't mind, by the way.
which I like. I was gonna say I'm gonna give them some grace for that because there's no real reason yet for a lot of action.
Right.
So that leads me to believe that they're dragging it out because I don't know how long they initially intended this to be.
Hmm.
You know how it's like, oh, now we got to stretch this out
Yeah.
a little bit while we figure out how to make this 5 seasons when we intended for this to be a special event or
Hmm.
maybe whatever. So I think it may have been a little bit of that. So I can see what you're saying about the just stretching it out the dollar because you see that a lot again with some other shows. Which what I do like though is one thing that made you tap out about Walking Dead, which finally got me, is that you can't give me a jump scare every 10 minutes.
Hmm.
You can't have someone about to die 4 times in an episode,
Yeah.
every episode, like the
Yeah.
same group of people in the same way you pulled out of it. It's like I'm tired of this.
It's just rinse, repeat. You know what I'm
It's
saying?
rinse, wash, repeat. So they haven't done that. I give them that part of it.
Hmm.
So I think with the part that I want to see play out about the people who just came to the bunker.
Hmm.
I want somebody to off this officer, the lady.
You talk about Jane? Is it
Jane
Jane?
Driscoll
Yeah.
needs to
Yeah.
be unalived.
Yeah. I'm with you on
I've
that.
had enough of her because now bringing her into it brings my issues with okay if everybody that's like she's this hero multiple times, but people are dying, and it's like that last one with the president. Like, okay, they jumped the shark a little bit.
Yeah.
There's cameras everywhere. Or any other time, she's the only. She said, "No, I got it. I'm the only one with him,"
Yeah.
and he ends up dying. And no, no,
Yeah. I'm with you there.
no, no.
Mm-hmm.
Jane, the Driscoll, she's the thing that's like the fly in the ointment for me. They got to either tone her down or kill her, one or the two,
Yeah.
or allow her. So she's an
Yeah, that's a good point. As far as like tone her down, because I mean, she definitely. I mean, I get they're trying to do a lot more character development with some of the folks that they have left, but with her, it's like they ramped up a little too much. You know what I'm
they
saying?
they did, and they gave her the backstory, which leads me to believe she's going to be around for a while.
Yeah, which is
I was
wild.
like, when I saw the backstory, I was like, damn it, they gave her they gave her the backstory, man. We got to sit here and watch her. No, okay. Now that made me think about something else too. So when she was in her training, usually they'll send you through this when you get your superpower or whatever this thing is you do. They'll
Hmm.
send you through the Rocky sequence where you just struggle a little bit, you couldn't get it, and you
Yeah.
just, oh, I finally got it. Man, she meditated one time. One She went through a 15-minute yoga session
They
with
couldn't
her
give her a little
boss.
montage.
They didn't give me the montage. They didn't give me the her getting frustrated because she couldn't do it.
Hmm.
She didn't get the pep talk. Nothing. She got it first go and went and stole the gun like just right off the rip. I'm
Hmm.
like, okay, that's to your pace, and they could have given us a little bit more of that,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because and now that I'm thinking about it, with Sterling K, with Xavier, some of his stuff happened really pretty quickly too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. What's your thoughts? I hope I'm not jumping too far ahead.
no.
You got any theories as far as like Alex and where they taking it?
So, but we've heard, and I heard, and I'm trying to go back and see where I heard the name Alex mentioned in the like even before that person said we're going to go kill Alex, before
Hmm.
Link said we're going to go kill Alex, I heard them say Alex before. It's
Yeah.
like, so I'm trying to figure out who Alex is. Yeah, I don't have good ones. I did have the theory like Gary and his foolishness, Terry's friend. Like called that from
Hmm.
the minute that happened.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Like you could see he was sending them in there trying to get him killed because and even they foreshadowed that when they showed that same picture the episode before with him looking at her like that,
Hmm.
and Xavier started to figure it out. And then he saw it. He looked at that pic. They showed it again. Was like, yeah, that the way that happened. I didn't call him. I didn't know he killed Remy, but I knew it was something like that.
Yeah.
I don't. This. So Alex had. Who do you think? I don't know. Who do you think Alex is?
This is just my theory. And if they do go in this direction,
You out?
no,
Yeah.
no, no. I'm
Oh,
not out. I'm not going to be out, but it's going to be really, really. It's going to be hard. If I'm right, it's going to be hard
mhm.
to pull this off. So I don't think Alex is a person at
Okay.
all. I think Alex, as crazy as it's going to sound, but I got
AI.
I got evidence behind it.
AI.
I think Alex has something is a machine that has something to do with some type of time travel. Here's why I say that.
Ooh.
Here's why I
Ooh.
say that.
Ooh. Ooh.
Because this season we've seen, especially early on, like the first 3, 4 episodes, we've seen Link and Xavier have the same reoccurring dream sequence, whatever you want to call it, where they are connected somehow. Like something takes place in the future that's going to involve both of them, but they both can't figure it out right now. That's one. Two, what really tied it together for me, it was maybe like a couple, maybe 2, 3 episodes back. Do you remember the dude that was talking to Sinatra? They had like a flashback. That
Yeah.
scientist dude with the curly hair,
Yeah.
glasses,
Yeah.
whatever.
He's still out. He's still out. Yeah.
He said one thing that definitely made me think that that's where they're going, because he said he told Sinatra that you got all the money in the world, but the one thing you need is the thing that money
It's
can't
time.
buy:
It's time.
time.
So you just hit some. So now you just connected a dot for me because in my research of this, I did see one theory. Then they were joking about it. They said Link because they said he was a time traveler. I just saw this today, and they
Mm,
said that because when he was talking to Alice, wasn't it Allison, the one who just died, Allison's baby? Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, yeah.
So when she threw out like 2 or 3 cultural references that he didn't know at all. He missed them.
Ah.
But if you see him when he's out there holding up the signs,
Mm-hmm.
he uses like 2 cultural references that if you know these, you would have known the 2 that she gave you.
Yeah, that's a good point. Ooh,
So
okay,
I
okay.
just saw it said they said Link has to be a time traveler in order to know that. So when you said that the light went off, because I'm like, why would they say that? You
Mm-hmm.
just made it make sense as to why that person even said that.
Because think Sinatra, you know what I'm saying? She's doing something that's siphoning off all the power to the bunker.
Yeah.
So that's why,
Oh, it's running. It's like okay.
yeah.
Now it's coming together.
So that's why I say I don't think Alex is a person. I think Alex, call it a code name,
It's
it's an
a dot
acronym.
L dot E dot.
There you
It's
go.
an acronym for
Yeah,
something,
there you go.
which gets to the lost. Well, not I mean, lost wasn't about time, but just that sort of thing.
Hmm.
It's so yeah. Like I said, they have 3 episodes, so now he finally got back to Terry. So
Hmm.
now they can go those 2 can go get their 2 white kids and they go back to see their other right. That's what they were joking about too on social media. They're like just joking about that.
One big
Yeah,
happy family.
one big happy family. But yeah, because he has to get Allison's baby back to Link. So and when he says he's gonna do something, he does it. So he's absolutely they're gonna get him back to
Yeah.
Colorado. I think they're all going on that train. So
Mm.
that's where it's going. So they're all going to take the train
Yep.
back to Colorado.
Lines up perfect.
But well, because Xavier, they're looking for him. They think because of Driscoll and what she's done, so he can come back and help the people who are outside. But his
Hmm.
kids are in there, so
Yeah.
that's where the rub's going to be.
I can see Xavier, I can see them playing it out like he wants to still take down Sinatra. He wants to make sure that the people in the bunker, like the innocent people, his kids, they still got a future. So he knows that, hey, listen, I think it's going to come to a point where he realizes that Sinatra may be right to a certain point, but he can no longer have her be the point person steering the
Oh,
ship. You know what I'm saying?
so
So I think he's going to find a fine line to work with this group, you know what I'm saying, that's outside of the bunker to make sure they don't come in guns blazing because, he's
yeah,
still got people down there that he cares about. Obviously, he's got his
yeah,
kids down
yeah.
there. So I think he's going to try to find a fine line to work with them to, saying do something as far as
So
this.
Sinatra's like that. She's like Doom.
Hmm.
She's like
Yeah. Yeah.
she's evil to a way, but she's trying to do a good
Hmm.
thing in an evil way.
Yeah. It's just that her ends, like how she gets to that
Yeah.
end, is just there may be some shadiness in there.
So the rap. So let me. So what do you think this is gonna end? Like the end of this? Because now I want to know how long how long can this go for one? Because
Mhm.
you can drag a show out too far, or you can end it too early. People rarely get it just right.
Yep.
So where do you think this is kind of where this is going?
See, that's the thing. I'm so stuck on my theory that this has something to do with time travel and between movies and TV shows that loop in time travel is either going to be ass or it's going to be really good.
Because are they going to go back in time to try to fix the what? Because going forward is not going to help
Yeah,
because
I'm saying.
you've already done it.
Hmm.
So are they going to go back in time to try to fix what they've already messed up?
And that's the thing.
If it's the time travel.
If that's the case, if they're doing some kind of time travel, messing with time kind of piece, that's why I'm really kind of apprehensive because a lot of times, like I said, this time travel stuff, if you don't do it right, it's going to be absolute ass. So I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. That's why I'm reserving giving my overall grade because, hey, look, it could be dope. You know what I'm saying? They
Yeah.
could, you know what I'm saying, pull something out the cards that we didn't even see coming.
Yeah. So I agree with you 100%. So that's me. So that gets back to my point too. Like you said, if they execute that properly, it could be an all-time show.
Yeah.
If they don't, it could be lost. And I spent however many years and hours of my life. Did you watch Lost?
Mm-hmm.
Man, listen. I'm like,
that's what I'm saying.
Listen here. That was again. I think I counted up the hours that I could never get back in my life, and including the time I spent talking about it with other people, doing it like, and then you did this. This is what you did. Like, come on, you didn't think who signed off on that? Who signed off on that? So yeah, it has great potential either way to be ass or be great. So we're gonna.
And I hope they knock it out the park because season one was so good, so dope. You know what I'm saying? It set a really, really high bar to where now they have to either match it or exceed it, but it's going to be how they tie up these last 3 episodes.
And where I will say, because this gets to back, and you talk about The Wire, season 1 was so good. And season 2, I think, is a lot of people's least favorite season, but it was necessary though for the bigger part of the story. They had to do season 2 to make all of it work. And then I think once people go back and watch it now, the complaints they had about it, they don't have them anymore because you see how it fits in the bigger picture. And that may be how we look at this.
Yeah, that's a good point because if they end on some type of like really dope cliffhanger going into season 3, I'll be good with that.
Yeah.
I'm good with it.
And even if it makes sense in the big, if they had to sacrifice some disposition, start with all this that they're doing to make it all make sense in the bigger picture, but people are impatient now, and that's the thing. They don't want to wait, and that's why, because my wife, she sits there, she's like, come on, get to it. I'm like, just chill out a little bit, like just give them time to get to it. So we're gonna see. We are gonna see. So I think that's it. We have similar thoughts, and I like that you connecting that time travel. Because that of all the stuff that I was sitting there I was like, why did they say that? That makes sense now, and I can see that, like the Alex, the acronym, and that whole thing. And I, like you said, don't think it's a person because somebody, and I'm gonna find it. Somebody mentioned it before in one of those episodes, so I gotta go. And it may have been Sinatra who mentioned it before. So going to kill Alex. So he wasn't talking about a person. Yeah. That makes a lot of sense. That's the energy.
Yeah.
So yeah, Paradise come Sunday. Next episode drops Sunday, right? Yeah, because I'm up to speed now. I watched the most recent episode from the 16th. I watched that today. So I'm sitting here waiting on Sunday for it to drop so we can check it. So we'll be back to talk about that one. So
can't wait.
Yeah, man. So now that leaves us. So these are my add on top. So definitely want to talk about those things, but we also we teased the music discussion. So for me, like this is, and I'll give them my little quick 2-cent recap, just a little setup there, because since the great reset of 2024, I just love the way that music has, because in order you got to tear down to build back up.
Yeah, that's true.
And sometimes you got to wait on permits, you got to wait, and it's like you got to get stuff right, and you got to get the right things that you want to build it up. And I like the way it's being rebuilt. We had a really good 2025 with music, and then into 25, like all through 25, there was some good music. So to start off 26 has some really good music. We got had ASAP, we had Cole. I know we go to Baby King, really dope album for King. I don't want to. Who am I forgetting? And I'm just talking about hip hop. Even with just talking about other music, you had Jill Scott. You had some other good music that was released. Those were some of the biggest ones. But just getting back to like I don't hear any more 2-minute songs. I don't hear songs without the hook. I don't hear a song or an album with 15 songs, but it's 30-minute runtime.
Yeah.
It's getting back to the basics of what what that's supposed to be and what
Hmm.
we're used to hearing. And I think, what do you before I get to the other part, what do you think about just the first part of the year?
This
And
first quarter we
First
got.
quarter, first quarter, yeah, first
Yeah,
quarter.
so it's been I think the quality has been good. I think overall it's been spread out. Um, I may say a controversial thing. I know we haven't really talked about it,
Oh,
but
is this about J
yeah,
Cole? Is this about Cole?
yeah, the fall off, it was all right.
Okay.
It was cool. It was cool.
Go ahead, finish your thought, and
For
then I'll add
for for
on
the
to it.
anticipation, you know what I'm saying? Since and you've been talking about this album for years, to for what we got, it was cool. I'm not gonna call it trash. It was cool. You know what I'm saying? It was
I agree with you. I don't know. You may not have had a chance because I did a live reaction to it. I did a couple Cole videos for it, and let me change this. Yeah, I did a couple in the lead up for the birthday blizzard, um, and even after that
hmm
because I, everybody know, like anybody that listens to me, anybody that knows me knows I'm Kendrick fan. Yeah, they know what side of all, like you have to be on one side now. But I've always been a day one Cole fan.
hmm
I have posts from where I used to when 2009, 10, 11, during that period when you would get the people saying, "Oh, there's no good music these days." I was always throwing J. Cole out there
hmm
amongst, with the other dudes. I've always been a Cole fan. But once I started seeing he started moving funny. And it's like I'm not gonna get into the what he did get pulling out about, like none of that. He just started moving weird. And
hmm
it makes me hear his music different.
Yeah.
It just does. And if people say it doesn't for them, you're better than me for like if once I know you're doing a certain thing, I'm going to look at you different.
hmm
And just even sonically with that album, just for what you said about it's okay. I agree with you. It's just okay.
Yeah.
20 is too long for one. Now
Yeah.
I just sat there. It's not even a contradiction because there's an extreme of okay, there's 9 2-minute songs, but then you give me 28 songs. Now there's two intros, two outros, so that's four tros that you throw out there. So there's 24 songs to this. I can easily find no doubt 3 songs on each disc that didn't need to be there.
hmm
And there's two more possibles on each one. So
hmm
there's I will say four. I'll just average it out. There's 4 songs on each disc that did not we didn't need them. Like if you had put them on a something else, if you just needed to take them
Yeah. Little
off of it.
mixtape, little
Mixtape,
EP.
EP, untitled, unmastered type thing that you
Yeah.
was from this, but we didn't need those. So you take those 8 off, you 20, then you take the 4, 16, and even that was pushing it.
Yeah. I mean, coming from the era that we came from, listening to
12,
rap hip
13
hop in the
songs.
90s, if you came up in the 90s and you dropped a double disc, that joint needed to be a classic. That was the standard. That was the bar. You come
Yeah,
out with a double disc, it's going to be a classic. And so the anticipation for an album you've been talking about for years,
yeah.
we finally getting it. Oh, and it's a double disc. Everybody thought it was going to be a classic.
Well, it's because he wanted to release because I think which was it the first it started off as one, and I think that first or whichever order it is was the original Fall Off album.
Mm-hmm.
Then when the reset of 2024 happened, he couldn't put it out. There's no way he could put out any music anywhere around that time. He was not going to
Had
be
to take that little
pursued.
sabbatical.
He had to shelve it. So when he was sitting, this is where I'm getting into the issue that I have with him and the album more, where he sat there all this time, and now I realize that I have this beef with this dude that I grew like. If you're J. Cole, almost 40 years old, you should not be beefing with a dude from your hometown
Nah.
that you grew up with. You shouldn't be doing and to have a whole it's like a whole disc of your
Dedicated.
album
Yeah.
theme to the homie at home that didn't really
that we
like.
don't know.
I don't want to trash this dude because he could be working and have a great job, family and all, but you shouldn't be beefing with the homie from Fayetteville that you grew up with, being J. Cole at 40 years old right now, and just make that your role, but like part of what your album is. No,
Mm-hmm.
sir. No,
Nah,
I don't want to hear
that ain't
it.
it.
Like that's what he drugged that out.
Yeah.
Like I didn't need to hear that.
And see, that was the disappointing part for me as far as this first quarter goes. But like I said, I didn't mean to derail us, but yeah, it
No,
was it was it
that's
was cool. It was
part
cool.
of the discussion. That's like,
Um,
yeah.
but as far as like the quality, going back to the quality of the albums that we've gotten so far this first quarter, I've been happy with it. I think the two best projects for me, I'm kind of flipping back and forth, is between ASAP and Wiz. They put out two
Oh,
really
man.
good products.
You haven't listened to Casino enough, have you? And
Yeah,
I'm not taking anything from those guys.
I haven't listened enough, but my first couple listens, you know what I'm saying? I really like that project. I think, after a couple more listens that would really kind of get to me. There was some, there's maybe like two skippable songs on there, but outside of that, I think the quality of that album was pretty dope. I'm really feeling that Don Toliver album that came
So
out.
let's talk about top. And so you're
Yeah.
filling in my gap because I knew there was more than what I mentioned. Let me wrap this other point because you brought up you took me to where I wanted to go with this. For one, let me just wrap Cole up. Cole can rap his ass off. Never
Hmm.
been a question. The production on that is good. It was just the thematically what he was doing and what he was talking about, and he was like, we either bored or don't want to hear what you're talking
Yeah.
about, and that's where he drops the ball.
Hmm.
He's not. It's never his talent.
Mm-mm.
Nobody ever questions that. So yeah, and thank you for bringing up Wiz. I knew I forgot one. That's why that's why I need another voice with me sometime because I definitely forgot about Wiz, and Wiz comes from that class of. I don't know if you remember back in the blog era. So you had it was Crit, it was Currency, it was Wiz, it was Dot, it was like all those guys kind of came up around the same time. So I'm
Hmm.
glad to see Wiz because Currency's always doing his thing. Um, did a little Crit dropped a dope project back at the end of 25. And anytime I see Wiz, because Wiz doesn't get enough credit for his just rapping ability, for
Hmm.
his song making ability. So I'm happy to see Wiz because that everybody looks at him just like the stoner dude now, and he
Yeah.
doesn't, and they take away from his actual like what he can do on that
Yeah.
mic. So I like, yeah.
He
So
gets
good for
busy.
him.
He definitely gets busy. But
Yeah.
what you was about to say about Don Toliver? I think you had something you.
So Don Toliver, and I like that. So Don is, and I've talked about like there's some stuff about Don too. I like Don Toliver,
Hmm.
but I'm gonna say that album, and before I make this comparison, I'm
Oh,
gonna say this album I'm comparing it to, I did not like, but only for the purposes of how I think it ran together. I'm gonna use this album as an example. I'm not comparing the quality of these two albums. Let me clear that up before put that disclaimer on that.
hmm.
When I first listened to some sexy songs for you by Aubrey and Party or whatever, I told people I was like, the best way I can describe this, it sounds like one long song with three beat switches.
Mm.
And
Okay.
it was like it just all ran together.
Hmm.
And in that case, it wasn't good. It wasn't one good long song, and the beat switches weren't good either. So with Don, I get that same feeling. It's just like this
Mm.
is all the same thing, but it's good music.
Yeah.
I just have to listen to Don. Like Don is just outside music. The summer music. He should have actually dropped that a little bit later
Yeah.
than what I think he did. He should have held on to it for a little bit because that's summer music. That's just like it's
Yeah.
absolutely gonna do what it does. I have to just listen to Don in like doses. I have to get like catch
Yeah.
like 2-3 songs and boom, I'm out.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of his stuff it does sound the same. I'll
It's
be the first
repetitive.
to. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
very repetitive.
Duplicative.
But you're right. You know what I'm saying? He should have dropped it, late spring, summertime. But I mean, maybe he was
He might have another one with him.
It could be,
he
or
might have another one.
it could be, or maybe he wanted to. I'm not saying it's the case. Maybe he wanted to drop now before
To get out of Travis's way.
Travis, and there's a couple more
Hold
names
on,
out there.
Yeah,
Couple
I
more
know you
names out
itching
there.
to talk about this one, but hold on. So, but with Don, he I think he has such a lane of his own. I
Yeah.
don't know, but again, I know he is signed to Cactus Jack. I know he is signed to Travis. So Travis may have played a part in when he actually dropped it. But it's still doing really well. I think he's got 9-10 songs charting. Like, I'm sitting here talking about when he should have dropped it or whatever. It's still doing well, but I just think the type of vibe, the music it's still, and it's gonna carry into the summer. So he may just very well just have used that as a runway to just take off again in the summertime. So
I can see him dropping another project for the years out.
But I think with the way those songs are doing on this album, he'd be crazy to just follow that up. Let those just run their course. They're still charting. They're still doing it. So
yeah, that's true.
So which one of these upcoming albums because there's two that I know I got a third, like a X Factor one that's out there that I want to talk about, because I know there's two that we have to talk about. Which one you want to talk about first?
I could be wrong, but I think I got 4 names.
You got 4 names?
I got 4. I'll go ahead and get my surprises out the way. I think Kanye gonna drop an album.
I don't care though. No, I don't think
I don't care.
Do you think he's gonna drop a real album, not like these ones? Now, if he drops a real album and not these ones he's been dropping, I kind of care.
Yeah. I think we get a Ye project.
Yeah, he apologized. He's dropping an album.
Yeah, 100%. And plus, they announced that he's doing some shows out there at was it Staples or whatever the other arena is. Apparently, he's doing some
crypto.
I think it is crypto. Yeah,
okay,
it is crypto. So Ye. I think we definitely getting the Hove project. And then
you said Hove second. You have 4 people, and you said Hove second.
Well, a lot of people. Okay, maybe I should have flipped the 2. I really wasn't thinking about it. Yeah, I'll double back. I'll double back for Hove.
Let's go. Yeah, because we need to dive in there. But let's get the other 2 names.
Trav and Drake.
I don't know if enough people care about Travis still, because let me get him out the way first. I'm gonna just get him out this conversation because Travis is playing with I saw this with his last couple albums. All Travis does is play like streaming games with merch and whatever. His music comes, and I used to like Travis, but Travis is another one who moves real funny. Once they pull the curtain back on Travis and just the way he moves, I don't care about his music because I didn't like his music enough. I kind of liked him and thought he was kind of worked hard or whatever else, good personality. So his music sounded better. Now that I see he's a shit person, his music doesn't sound good to me, and I don't really care. And he again plays these streaming games because you notice he'll have you can't sell 300,000 in 1 week and then the next week it's 50. What are we talking about here? What are we doing? So now I do, and because I said it because I care much more about a Kanye album than I do a Travis album. But yeah, and that's why I think to the point about Don dropping when he did was to get out the way for Travis. Travis threw him out there first quarter, so that means he's going to drop either second or fourth quarter. So he's going to come behind him, or he's going to drop at the end of the year. But Travis's music is more summer music, which means you're right. He's probably going to drop second quarter or third quarter.
See second quarter. I definitely see, because I think the third quarter, I think that's when we're going to get it.
That's fall. Yeah. Okay. That's when we're going to get the other 2.
I think we're going to get the big 2. The big 2. Yeah. Of the 4 that I mentioned.
Okay. All right. I was about to say, who you talking about? Tyler and Kendrick?
No. Of the 4 that I mentioned, because I don't think we're gonna get a Kendrick project this year.
No. That's the one. That's my X Factor one right there. In which I'm gonna tell you why.
Okay.
So, but let's talk about. let me get him out the way first because I want to talk about these other. I want to spend more. I don't want to spend a lot of time on Kendrick. So I think we're gonna get one. It's gonna be after August though,
Okay.
because that's the Grammy cycle, and he's
Mm,
gonna let Keem have this Grammy cycle to do whatever it is he's gonna do. And I
mhm,
think he understands these last two. He's run those up, and I think he understands that there may be some fatigue, and even if it deserves it, he won't get it, and he's gonna be competing with Keem.
mhm.
So I don't think he's gonna drop anything before August. I think end of August is the cutoff
Okay.
for the Grammy cycle for
Okay.
27. I think at the end of the because this is one thing that I've had to speak to some of my OVO counterparts online because there's this perception that because he dropped in 24 and it was like, well, he doesn't drop that often. But if you go back and do the math on when he actually is dropped, after there was a big gap between Good Kid, Mad City and his second one, but
Mhm,
he's dropped more frequently than people give him credit for.
mm,
Even when you consider the pandemic, which was the difference between when Mr. Morale was supposed to drop, that impacted that from when he had the Black Panther soundtrack right before that, and then Dan was writing 17. It was
mhm.
17, 18, and then pandemic. Did he drop Mr. Morale?
Yeah.
So he doesn't really take as long as people think. So it's been 2 years almost. By the fall, it's either gonna be his project or the Black Hippie project.
Okay.
One of the two. I think if I were him, I'd do the Black Hippie thing next. I would do that next to just clear the palette of everything else.
Mhm.
Do Black Hippie, no pressure. Got your boys, got your group. Just go do your thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I do think we're gonna see him third quarter, fourth quarter of this year.
Okay. Who else you got on that list?
So I got the same
That's
two
it.
that
That's
you.
it. Okay. Okay.
That was
Okay.
my X Factor one. So now let's look because we all saw the Roots Picnic.
Mhm.
Well, even before the Roots Picnic, when he repackaged, was it the blue? Which song? He just did an anniversary something release. He made a big deal about it.
Was it volume 1?
It wasn't Volume One. It was either Blueprint
I think it
or
was a blueprint.
yeah, it was one of
Yeah.
those.
Yeah.
So, but he also did something with his name and with the like he's prepping to he changed it on DSP. Like he's getting ready to drop.
Oh yeah. 100%.
And once I saw the Roots Picnic thing, it's like
Mhm.
you don't do that unless you're getting ready to drop.
Mhm.
And it's gonna be real interesting because, well, for one, I think because he's been sitting here watching Nas drop the Magic series, the King's Disease series,
Mhm.
drop with Premier. He's dropping another album with Havoc. He's like, I gotta do something. You gotta get up
Mhm.
off the couch, dog. You gotta that man on your hip because you got some people saying he's overtaking you just about volume and quality alone. Just
Nah.
some people. I didn't say it. I didn't say that. I didn't say it.
Right.
Some people are saying it.
If like I said, I think we're getting a project from Hove, but if I'm him, he's got so many hands and so many other, different pockets in business. You know what I'm saying? To
He's
me, I wouldn't think he's listening to all that noise
he
about
is. He's still okay. I agree with you. He has all this other stuff going on, but at the
mhm.
end of the day, he is
He's a
still
rapper first.
a rapper first,
Yeah.
who is a confident rapper who thinks
Mhm.
he's the best to do it.
Yeah,
And
but
there's
that's
one way he hadn't forgotten that.
mm-mm. So I mean, yeah, it has been a minute since he's at. I mean, yeah, rapper first. It's been a minute. He's probably got that, what I'm saying, that feeling. He wants to
Mhm,
get back and doing something. He's probably already got, half an album, if three-quarters of an album in the tuck already.
mhm. I,
Um,
I think it's already probably mostly finished,
yeah,
and he's
yeah.
gonna wrap it up. And this is the little messy part where I'm gonna say there's some people I think he has something to say about
Oh,
on
100%.
this album. A
100%.
handful of them.
Mm-hmm.
He got a handful of people that's gonna get some shots. They're getting some bars
Who you
on
think
this album.
who you think's gonna get some shots on that?
Drake's definitely getting bars.
100%.
Hundred
100%.
percent getting bars. Nicki's getting bars.
Okay.
Um, he's always just ignored 50. He's just and that's like, but 50 might catch some bars on
He'll
this
he'll
new
he'll, he'll
thing.
catch a little small pow pow.
he gave him a little pow. Who else? There's somebody else. And I think he's gonna get at people by some of his features too.
Hmm.
He's also gonna get at people by who he features on this album. I'm trying to think of who else gonna catch. So who else you think? I know there's those three are definitely, I think, gonna catch shots. But
I definitely think he's maybe not shots, but he's definitely going to address some situations with him and Ye. I think he's going to address. I also think he's going to address the Tory Meg situation. I think we get a couple bars about that.
Tory is definitely catching the shot.
Mm-hmm.
Tory's catching the shot. Everybody who just does the whole Rock Nation stuff, he's gonna get a shot.
Yeah.
Features I like Push is gonna be on there. I know Push is gonna be on the album.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty sure Push is gonna be there.
Ross probably gonna be on there.
Ross is gonna be. I also think Dot is gonna be on there.
Oh, ooh.
I think Nas is gonna be on it.
Let's talk about Dot. You really think he's gonna be on there?
Yes.
Now that you say that, I'm thinking.
Yes. I absolutely think I think he's 90% gonna be on there.
What about that competitive spirit though?
What? That's so. But again, I think this is because they have a relation. If they didn't have some type of relationship prior, I wouldn't say, because they've done songs before, and then with him picking him for the Super Bowl, with some of the other fallout that happened because of that, the Eric Michael Dyson stuff, where he's and Hove has defended him on several fronts about people saying stuff. I just think there's a synergy there, and I do think they're. So why do you think the competitive? What's going to keep them from?
No, I'm not saying that he's going to like take shots at anything at Dot, but I just think that Kendrick has had one hell of a run.
You think he would be wave ride? People would look at him like he's wave riding if he had him on his album. Is that what you think?
Not so much that. I think it's just the fact that Kendrick has been clearly the crown
on his heels now. So
exactly. And I think Hove probably just wants a standalone to just say, "Hey, let me remind y'all." You know what I'm saying?
I could see that. So either he's gonna have all the people we mentioned or nobody.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be one of those things. He's gonna have a bunch of people or nobody. And I'm leaning towards the bunch of people. I don't think he's proven we don't.
When you say a bunch,
handful, like
okay,
3-4, like the people we just mentioned. Nothing crazy. He's not gonna do a Khaled album or nothing like that. But, just a handful.
I'm with you.
Of VIP people.
Now, if he does drop an album with no features, though, I think he really gonna come with it. I think he's really gonna come with it if he drops one without any features.
I think he has to come with it regardless. But I hear what you're saying about if he does it with no features.
Mm-hmm.
He's got to do it. And then, but if you bring in somebody in the studio, you're gonna let somebody murk you on your own song because they're gonna call you old, and how they say you're gonna call you Larry Holmes at that point.
So you out of shape, yeah.
You got if you inviting somebody to the studio, you better keep Guru available to be able to go back and re-record that verse if you need to. If you need to go back and do it again.
And that's another reason I don't think he's gonna have Kendrick on the album. I'm not saying he damn sure
Kendrick would try to go in there and plaster him to the wall.
Yeah.
He would try to go in there and plaster him to the wall.
And like you said, they got a great relationship with each other.
But them two are the most. They rappers like it ain't gonna be. But it's like I'm not gonna say nothing about you, but I'm going to say some. That's going,
just want to remind some folks.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. I ain't been here in a minute. I ain't walked through in a minute. Let me show y'all what y'all been missing out on.
Yeah, so that's gonna be interesting. But I do believe he's gonna. So that the Roots picnic is Memorial Weekend. He usually drops fourth quarter though, and I can't see him waiting that long unless he's gonna do a long press run, long rollout, because he's missed the fourth quarter, and he could drop in October but that's a long time. It's a long time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is a long time, especially now that you're starting to really build that momentum, especially with the announcement of the Roots picnic. Yeah, October will be too long.
That's a long time.
Yeah, it's too long.
So, but we agree he's definitely dropping. This year. So I don't think there's a question about that. And let's get just real quick before we get to this last 140 years. Not avoiding the topic at all. I'm gonna get to it. But just there's this conversation about like what's too old to be rapping. I hate that conversation. You have a lot
Oh
of
yeah.
people like ageism, like you're too old to be like still making music. Like I don't understand that at all.
Mm-mm.
I don't get
Especially if you still rapping at a high
it. At a
level.
high level. If you out here
Yeah.
bumming it, put the mic
Hmm.
down.
Yeah.
But if
100%.
you can still do it, because who was I having this conversation with? I think I may have had it with Mike when I had Mike Allen here. Did an interview last week, and I was it's like if you because I've been in studio sessions, and I'm like I used to make beats. I still make beats. Like I'm in my mind, I'm like I like the creative process
Hmm.
of making music. I spent hours watching like the great producers and like eras go into a studio. You walk into a room with nothing, with just machines, maybe a notepad, and you walk out with some magic. It's like
Hmm.
if you can still do that, why would you stop doing it?
Yeah.
I don't care how old you are.
Yeah.
If you can still do that, there's only so many people walking this earth that has the talent to do that. If you can still do it, why stop? I don't care about your age. So,
And I don't think there's a single rapper on this planet that's more confident than Hope.
oh no,
Yeah.
no, absolutely not.
Yeah.
There's nobody more confident than him. And I think if he does, not if he when he does, I think he's going to like it's going to be one of those albums. And
Hmm.
like I said, we'll see. And I know we're never getting College Dropout Kanye back. I just want
No.
to get a somewhat regular. But I don't know what it's going to take for me to even listen to his music again. Support him. He's done so much.
Yeah.
If he wasn't as talented as like that's how you know how good he is. That people still they leave the door cracked
Yeah.
for Kanye. They're just like,
Dog, I'm tapped out.
anybody else that did a quarter of what he's done, they would have
I'm
been
tapped
done
out.
with them. You
I'm
tapped
tapped
out.
out. I'm tapped
Yeah,
out.
I don't know what it'll take to make me listen to him. I'm pretty much because like I haven't listened to his last. I think Pablo was the
Mhm.
last one I even listened to.
It's gonna take years
I don't even
of
know if that'll
like,
do it. He has to do right, like be normal for like another
mhm.
5 years.
That's what I'm saying. Years of it. Yeah.
Because I'm not running right back to
Nah.
just like no, I ain't doing that.
No.
All right, so that's all. We're gonna get him. I think third, fourth quarter. Let's go ahead and talk about this. This Aubrey guy and this Ice Agent, Iceman, whatever album it's called. Do you
You're not
do you
feeling the
think
whole
do you think he even
Iceman?
has an album? Do you think he really has an album? Because there's a lot of everybody says he says like he doesn't even really have an album.
Number one, I'm tired of hearing about Iceman. I'm tired
Yeah,
of hearing about he
yeah.
had that failed rollout he was trying to push with the whole
Can we
little
talk about
video
that rollout
snippet.
for a little
Yeah,
bit?
yeah, yeah.
Can
Go
we?
ahead.
How bad was that? Because I'm going to defer to you a lot with talking about him because everything I say about him is going to come off as hate.
Hmm.
I really don't. I dislike the dude, but I can still be objective and things of this nature. But I'm gonna let you like. What did you think about that rollout?
I think at that point, I think he had an idea in his head. I think he had I think he had a project in the tuck.
What was his idea though? What was it?
I think he was definitely trying to drum up, whatever kind of momentum, whatever kind of wave he thought, but he clearly did not get the reception that he thought he was going to get, and so he's just been quiet ever
Yeah,
since. So I think at that point, I think he did have a project that he was
yeah,
probably
I
looking
agree
to
with that.
roll out right after that. But then I think once them little video snippets and all that bullshit didn't work, I think he was like, all right, let me hit the pause button on this for a second.
I call him. I got two nicknames for him. Well, no, I have a nickname and just he has a crown. He is on the greatest snippet run of all time. There's nobody been on a snippet
I'm
run
tired of the leaks, man.
like
I'm
like
tired of the
he's
leaks.
leaking like the Titanic, but I also call him the GLOAT.
Mm,
GLOAT. Greatest leaker of all time.
yeah,
That's who he is.
yeah.
And it's because he has no confidence. I think you hit it on the head because this is another a narrative that's just floating out there that people just repeat stuff and say it. That like about him being gone, the game's not the same without him or whatever. It's like, where did he go? He didn't go anywhere.
Mm-mm.
He's still here. He's
Yeah.
been making music ever since the beef.
Yeah.
Because that summer he put out the gigs, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody like
It didn't get. It didn't do what
nobody
he
like.
thought it was going to
He
do.
put out 200 gigs and people hated 198 of them. And they only kind of like the 2 gigs.
Yeah.
They didn't like 198 of the 200 gigs you put out for whoever's head top it was for.
Yeah.
So then that's when he started to delete he started putting out some other song. He had the features with I forget the pop star he put out. He had the song with Smiley. He put out a song with whoever. Like nothing he put out stuck. So that took you through 24, 25. He did the same thing early 25.
Mm-hmm.
But then he dropped the I don't even like saying the name of the album. It's the SSS4 album with Party Next Door. And I feel bad for P&D because I used to kind of like P&D. He was just used as a pawn. Like he's been used. He's used to being used because he just take your songs and do whatever with them.
Mm-hmm.
And then that, like I said, that album, just one long song with 3 beat switches that I did not like. No, even on first listen, the only song that I was like, oh, that's kind of cool was Nokia. Mm-hmm. And that's the one and he didn't even he could have found something for Party to do on that song. Like Party could have sung something on that song. Mm-hmm. And that's the only song he pushed, the only song that did anything. And it didn't really do much. But it was just like he still like again, I've run through we're gone where? He ain't gone nowhere. Mm-hmm. He announced this album in August of 2024. Iceman. August of 2024. So he did all this other stuff. He's still putting out these little loosies, these leaks and test. But you remember he leaked push-ups. He did the same thing with push-ups. He didn't really put it out. He just like, let me see what they think about it first.
Yeah.
And then when he got a decent reception, they took it back and then repackaged it. But it had lost steam. The way you that song would have done a lot better if you had been confident enough to just drop it. Just put it out there.
Yeah.
Because once you leaked it, and then he's like, oh no, you said it wasn't mine. People thought it was AI. Then you're gonna put it out. It's like, wasn't a bad song, but you just didn't have any confidence in it.
He definitely ain't got no confidence.
No confidence in everything.
If he did, we would have gotten the Iceman.
We would have got that. And I agree with you. Back to me agreeing with. I think when he dropped this, what did I miss, and which one? Those were the real testers. I think those were on the album. Mm-hmm. If they had taken off, we would have seen that album by the end of that year or early spring of this spring of like by now.
Yeah, he would have dropped it by now. Because like I said, he was gearing up with that whole little video snippet rollout. He was gearing up for it. We would have gotten
that
it by
was
now.
Ass though. Let me just get to what did that have to do with anything?
It didn't have nothing to do with
driving in the ice truck, in the ice house, what are we doing? What are we talking about here?
He thought he was going to get that massive, Drake's about to drop. Drake's about to drop. He about to drop. It's coming. Nah, he realized he didn't get that reception. Everybody was like, all right, if you drop, you drop. It is what it is. But that's been the reception he's been getting.
So, and I hate to do this, man. I hate doing this. But because we're talking about how like bad he is or how in a bad way that he is right now. And then there's somebody that's gonna sit. I guarantee you when this gets clipped up and goes to wherever, one of his fans are gonna be like, but he's still streaming, blah, 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 blah. They're gonna pull out his streaming numbers. But you know how that men lie, women lie, numbers don't. Numbers can absolutely lie to you.
Yeah.
Because especially in his case, and if I don't have them because I wasn't planning on spending enough time talking about him tonight, but I do have some of these numbers for him. But also I have real life experience with him. If you go to the mall, go to any mall, go to any public place or whatever, you will hear his songs playing in these stores. Those are streams. Those are excuse. SKUs. You hear there's so many SKUs, so many SKUs. So all the that's exactly right. So many SKUs.
Mm-hmm.
So that is and when you hear these, do you see the little tweet? Oh, this song had God's plan, whatever billion or one, like whatever. It's because they're playing them in the mall and on
Mm-hmm.
elevators. None of his new stuff is streaming like that. Nothing
Mm-mm.
past Scorpion
Mm-mm.
is streaming like that. These are all old, and that's all UMG cares about. That's what they got what they
Yeah.
need from him.
Yeah.
They don't need anything else from him.
Nah.
They have his back catalog, which is going to make money forever, but
Mm-hmm.
none of his new stuff is streaming worth nothing past 2017 is streaming worth anything.
And I'm gonna take what you just said and take it a step further. This may not even be a hot take. I think it's a wrap. I think it's a wrap. And the reason why I think it's a wrap is because you know what's funny? It was like 2 weekends ago. You know what I'm saying? You in the house, you bored, you cleaning up, you know what I'm saying? You listen to music when you cleaning. And I was like, I heard somebody talking about like old Drake. And I was like, you know what? While I'm cleaning, let me go back and listen to some
It
old
don't,
Drake.
it don't hit the same, does it?
Well, I mean, it's here's the thing, and it made me when I think I was listening to what was it? So Far Gone, Take Care, Thank Me Later,
Mm-hmm.
and I
View,
got
you listen to
yeah,
View?
yeah, and I got to them albums, and I just kind of stopped. And what made me think about it was that Kendrick line from Euphoria. I like Drake with the melodies. I don't like
Like,
Drake when he
yeah,
talk tough.
yep.
You can kind of see it right around the time when he dropped. I think it was
Scorpion was when he started the mob ties talk.
even I think slightly
Well,
before that.
Views, he started talking a little bit like that on Views.
It was he started talking a little like that on if you're reading this, it's too late.
I didn't listen to that much.
Just a
So
little bit.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not a I used to like old Drake. I
Mhm.
did.
If he
All of us
would have
did.
yeah, if he would have stuck to that lane,
Yeah. He would have
he
been golden.
golden.
Golden. We would have never and I think the reason why we listen to you funny and look at you funny is because we know who and what you are.
Mhm.
And then you talking about like just the
We don't
subject
believe
matter.
it.
You throwing up the get like, bruh.
We don't believe it.
Like, no. So yeah, if he is stuck to what Wayne told him to do,
Mhm.
stick to yourself. Don't try to
That's
talk
it.
tough. Don't get the tattoos. He would have been, but it wasn't good enough for him. When you start seeing the stuff, because I'm gonna tell you what, he's a lot like Kanye acts a lot of the way he does is because the way people treated him when he
Mhm.
came up. Like they
Mhm.
made him work. They gave him that's like like the way like there's the stories about like with Common how they treated him. He made sure he
Mhm.
signed Common. There was even how like Jay and them treated him when he was with. It's like just make me a beat. I want to hear you rap. So once he get on, it's like now I have this thing about me. I have this chip on my shoulder, and I think that's him. Like
Mhm.
somebody was just telling a story when they were on tour. Like they wouldn't even let him get on their bus, like the Young Money bus. Like we
Mhm.
couldn't get on Wayne's bus because they called him a dork, like they called
Mhm.
him a geek or
Yeah.
whatever else. Just like you just go do your little good boy thing, and that should have been okay with him, but it was
Mhm.
never okay
Never
with
enough.
him. I just saw a video of Dennis, his daddy, talking about how weird he was as a young kid. These are his words. I wish I had the clip. I wish I had the clip. I wish I had time. I might pull it up and go get it. I might put it in the when I do the final one. Where
Mhm.
Dennis was talking about how weird he was. Dennis was like disgusted. This man, when he was coming to stay with him,
Yeah.
he was like, "Man, I done smoked me a little joint, whatever. I done, get rid of. Put him to bed. He get up asking me how many blades of grass you think in the world." I'm like, man, I don't know. It's just like he said he was weird. He's like, I knew he was weird. This is Dennis talking. This is his
Yeah.
daddy talking.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and then to turn into what he turned into was just like, come on.
Because you know we're gonna get like some shots at Kendrick on Iceman. We know we're gonna get he's probably got some shots for J. Cole on Iceman. But it's like, oh, like, and I keep thinking about, like I said, the old Drake. It's like, man, if you had just stuck to your lane, you would have never had no problems with Kendrick, would have never had no problems with Ross or any of these other people. If you had just stuck to being you They let your insecurities play nowhere into whatever you got going on. You would have been just fine. You would have been probably in the top three artists of all time worldwide: Bad Bunny, Taylor Swift, and you.
Yeah, and he would have we wouldn't have cared about because you were a pop star at that point. I don't care if somebody else writes your music. You're a pop star. Who cares about that?
Yeah.
But you want to be a tough rapper. Like we care about that. And it's just tough to watch somebody with some amount, like even if you don't like love them, like to have some talent and to see like what you do with that just simply because of how you feel like you feel insecure and the insecurity show. And it was the two. I mean, you're not light skinned. I can say this about you. You ain't light skinned enough. So I had to be offended. So the control verse, man, only two people got offended by that verse. The two lights. And there were people that was offended because they didn't get mentioned. Like Joey. Joey was like, hey, you didn't put my name in the song. Joey was better. He was mad about that.
Mm-hmm.
But y'all two are hot. If you listening to him talk about being offended by the control verse is disgusting.
Yeah.
It is absolutely disgusting. Well, man, if that's how you feel, if that's how you feel, like everybody should feel like that. Everybody feels like they are the best, and I will wipe you up. And yeah, I'll let you my boy, but I'll clean you up.
I still got love for you, nigga.
Like, I love you, but he literally said the word. I got love for all y'all, but I will keep not.
I'm trying to murder y'all.
Again,
I think it's a rap, man.
I went back to look. So I did hear a rumor.
What you got?
That he's basically like dropped from UMG, and that they're not gonna we haven't seen the album because they won't let us see the album. And why would they though? If he's doing what he's doing, why would I put out a project for you? Why would I do that?
Yeah.
And the thing everybody keeps saying this thing about he wants to go independent. That's what he wants all along. That is a horrible, horrible take. If you look at what he's done with OVO and his artists, that is him being independent and being a seat and controlling his own fate with no machine behind him, nobody pushing him. He has to have that. Zipper doesn't have any clothes on right now. He is out there butt naked.
He needs it.
He needs it. So he doesn't want to go. He doesn't, because he wouldn't have gone and asked them to re-up on a deal if he wanted to go independent. And that's just not what he doesn't want that. And I don't think he's good at it. So
whenever we finally get Iceman, it's gonna do numbers first week because everybody's gonna want to listen to the shots. Everybody's curious to see. But yeah, I think after that first week,
and I don't think it's gonna be good music. And that's the other thing I keep saying with his people. They keep throwing numbers at me, but I was like, I haven't heard y'all one time say this was a dope song. This was a whatever project. You keep throwing numbers at me. You said nothing about how the song sound. What kind of music is he making? Yeah. Is it any good? Yeah, it's gonna he still has enough of his core fans that will just go down with the ship with him. That he's gonna do some kind of numbers the first week, but it's not, like you said, it's not gonna have any staying power because you have to have everybody else to have staying power. His people are gonna be the human bots are gonna be playing the song in their sleep like they were doing for man, I promise you. They were, if you ever go to you have to at least one time in your life go to the Drizzy Reddit page. You gotta go. You gotta go. Go to Reddit and go to the Drizzy page. That is like being in. You talking about the multiverse? It's like they don't live in 616 at all.
They don't live amongst us.
They do not live amongst us. It is wild over there. And they were talking about, hey, we gotta when SSS4 came out, they were like, come on, guys, we gotta start playing it right when it drops. You gotta go to sleep. You gotta make sure that it just keeps playing. Even when you go to work, just turn the volume down and just let it play all day for as long as you can.
That's crazy.
Like who? What? Like, come on, man. I wish a Hove or Cole or whoever, a Kendrick fan would ask me to go just play his music in my sleep. No, no, I'm not doing that. No, just like the Kendrick meme. No, not doing it.
Yeah.
So, but I don't even know if we're gonna see that thing, man. I don't know if it's gonna get I don't know about him. I don't know what's gonna happen with him. And he keeps up this frivolous lawsuit that keeps appeal. Like, just I don't know.
It's not going nowhere. It's not going nowhere.
I don't know.
Like I said, I think we're gonna get it. I think we're gonna get the album just because he talked about it so much. But I think that's.
You think it's gonna be any good? No, no.
I ain't got no confidence in it.
No.
And I don't think he does either.
See, that's the problem. I can't have confidence in something that you don't have confidence in. Like, no. So, all Drake's fans out there, I hope y'all get y'all Ice Agent Ice. He needs to change the name of the album first of all, but he can't because he's been calling it that for so long. Best of luck with that.
Drop it as a mixtape and say, hey, I got another album.
Well, I heard that too. That he was gonna just drop it as a mixtape and then just drop something else whenever. Like I don't know when he's gonna do it, when he's gonna have enough confidence to do it. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Like I have confidence in some of those albums. I'm looking forward to some of those albums, and then I don't even know if I'm gonna listen. I don't think I'm gonna listen to it if it does up. You gonna listen to it?
Yeah, I'm gonna listen to it.
No. I'll let you come on and tell me what he's talking about.
Yeah,
I'll let you tell me what he's talking about over here.
You ain't gonna have no urge to listen to it.
No, I don't. I really don't. But my curiosity might get. Now, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, I ain't gonna do it. Curiosity might get the best of me. I'm just being a music lover.
Mm-hmm.
I'll listen. That may make me want to listen to it, just to be able to. Because, well, if I don't listen to it, I can't critique it.
Yeah,
I can't critique him. If I don't listen to it, I can't come on here and say nothing about him or his album. I can't do that. So, if I want to talk about him, I'll go listen to it. If not, I won't.
But I damn sure ain't got no high expectations.
You're gonna download it. You're gonna pay for the download. You get the free ski. You're not gonna pay for the download, huh?
No.
Yeah. All right. So that's a wrap for the music. So yeah, I know that was we'll circle back on a lot of those topics because they're gonna need it. Now, I want to end it today with just my Laker talk. Well, I have a couple items. Now, we can be quick because we don't have to spend a lot of time on these. I do want to get yours because I gave my take on these, and I do want to give an update on both of these takes. But last week I said two things. Well, I'm gonna start with the first thing, and I'll get to the other one. I had a conversation about LeBron and my Lakers. I just said I'll just summarize what I said. I said I think, in my opinion, and some others' opinions, but my opinion, that this particular Laker team is better without LeBron. And I also said that I'm not knocking LeBron. I think he's still playing at a high level, and he could have won a championship this year on another team. I just don't think he's good for this team. He takes away from, if you look at the beginning of the season, the way, and Reeves is now getting back to that. Look at the way Ayton was playing without LeBron. Look how Rui played without him.
Yeah.
Look how Luka played. Everybody played at a higher level without him. And him coming back, again, he's playing at a high level offensively, but and we have enough bad defensive players that you're putting another bad and older defensive player on the court. Like, so, and Rich Paul, this gets to a whole lot of conversations. Rich Paul wanting Reeves to go to the bench. No, he ain't going to want him to get traded. No, like, your man's about to be out of here. Sorry for tinting the conversation. I'm telling because so what are your thoughts on the Lakers with or without LeBron?
I mean, you hit it right on the head. I mean, you mentioned it earlier. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie. I mean, the numbers bear it out. Like
Yeah.
it is what it is. Like they play better without LeBron there. Um, I think LeBron can definitely. Personally, I think for the Lakers to have a chance in the West, because the West is loaded. At least it's top heavy. Let me say that it's top heavy. Um, I think for them to have a chance, he's really, 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 really going to have to take a back seat. I mean, for them to have like a chance, dare I say, maybe even possibly come off the bench.
So I wasn't even gonna say so people are telling me that they have a higher still they can't beat certain teams without him. Like that, like they're like, I hear you saying like the regular season they're better without him, but they can't beat San Antonio or whoever without him or without him being one of the guys. I disagree with that. Wholeheartedly disagree with that. So sorry.
I think you'll still get, especially in the playoffs. I still hold out some hope that he'll kind of turn on that switch and you'll get like at least in the fourth quarter you'll get
old, bro.
Yeah, he's old.
He's
I mean, look, you ain't got to tell me. I think he should have retired 2-3 years ago, personally. If you ask me.
But I do think that he can. There's a game to what I'll give those people who say that is that on a long run, if you're playing deep in a series, a 6-7 game series, even 5-game series, there's a game he could like.
Yeah.
I won't even say win. I don't even think you could put it all on his show. But there's a game that he'll like help you pull out in a series like that.
Sure.
I'll give you. But so will the other guys, and it's more in the big picture. Everybody's looking at this in like a vacuum or a silo.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they're saying, and again, I'm not talking bad about him as a player individually. I'm just talking about how it fits, because you said the numbers or the plus minus is crazy. Like you just have to look at that.
Mm-hmm.
You can look at the win losses with just Luka Reeves without him. You can look at it, but just look at the plus minus when certain people are on the floor, and look at the plus minus with him and Ayton, with him, Rui, him, Luka. Everybody's plus minus is worse with him.
I'd be curious to know. I don't know the answer to it, but I would be real curious to know what is Austin Reeves' true shooting percentage with and without LeBron.
Oh, I saw it. It's way better without him.
Oh yeah, I'm
I don't have it in front of me. Yeah, it's way better without him, because that's two of the things I really looked at: the true shooting percentage, and then the the plus minus, of course, and then there was another stat that I looked at. Oh, the usage rate. So one thing somebody told me was that this is LeBron's lowest usage rate in his career. Well, it should be.
Yeah, it should be.
But he still has the second highest usage rate on the team. He should not have a higher usage rate than Austin Reeves.
No.
Why does he have a higher usage rate than Austin Reeves? No. So that's the point. So that's when they're using numbers like this is the lowest usage rate of his career. It should be.
And you think he should come off the bench?
Yes. Because him off the bench, I would start Rui, and if you bring him off the bench, he can shoot he can still have, because he still got that, but he never had the just shoot it all the time mentality anyway. But he can just operate the way he wants to, have the ball in his hands the way when he wants to. He's gonna make these other people, the bench players, better.
Yeah.
So
it makes the most sense. I
mean, he's not gonna do it. His ego's not gonna let him. That's why Rich Paul was getting ahead of that too, because he knew people were about to say that. So instead of it coming to him, we'll put Austin on the bench. No, we're putting Austin Reeves on the bench, man. Sit down. No.
Listen, if he truly wanted to win, which I even with making that change, I still don't think they're going to be, in my opinion, the top three teams out there in the West. But it just makes the most sense. Lakers, no, I'm saying my top three.
I know. Who's your other one besides San Antonio and OKC? Houston? We beat Houston. Who's the third team?
I still think come playoffs, Minnesota is going to make it.
No.
I believe in the boy Ant. I believe in Ant.
Minnesota's not even in my top 5 in the West. Look. I'll put OKC, San Antonio,
Mhm.
us, Houston. I'll put Denver ahead of Minnesota.
I put Denver ahead of y'all.
No, well, I mean that's debatable, but they're definitely in front of Minnesota. We
Yeah.
we we beat
Yeah.
Denver 3-1 this year, and we spanked Minnesota too.
Okay.
We spanked Minnesota,
Okay.
spanked Denver. About to do the same thing to Houston in a in
I,
a little
I
bit.
think where it stands right now, like if everything was to stay the same, y'all would play Minnesota first round, right? 3-6 matchup.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yep.
Yeah.
That's 5 hot. We get them out of there in 5. We'll get them out of there in 5.
Nah, I don't see that.
They out of there in
It's
5.
it's going at least 6 games.
All right, we'll take them 4-2. Then we'll get them out of there 4-2. But just about my point, this whole thing about LeBron, you're clear on your opinion also that this team. That's all I'm saying
Mhm.
is better without him starting for sure,
Yeah.
and having and I also would frame that as he still doesn't. He's not willingly not being the man. He doesn't like not being the man. He wants to win another championship, but he wants to be the man in doing it.
That's the thing. You gotta weigh your options. You
He
can't
got to
have it
weigh
both
his
ways.
options. You can't do that. And somebody asked me, "Well, give me an example of him doing that." So the technical. You saw the video with the technical free throw? They were playing Phoenix. We were playing Phoenix, and close game. He let Dylan Brooks be shaking that man up. Ain't gonna call him a boy for it. But he be getting under his skin, and there was a technical foul. Luka was on the floor, and Austin Reeves Reeves might have been out, but somebody else was a good free throw shooter on the floor. And Bron went up there, and anybody could have shot it. He jumped up there, took the shot, missed it. They asked JJ at the press conference who was supposed to take that free throw. JJ said Luka. And I don't know why LeBron took the shot. So they asked LeBron at the press, like after the game. He was like, "Why wouldn't I take it? What do you mean? What?" See, and I was like, "Okay, that right there is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Why wouldn't you take it? Luka was on the floor
At his age, man. Like I get the mentality, but at his age, and he never really was a great free throw shooter to begin with.
and not a clutch free throw shooter at all.
No.
No.
So if he truly wanted to win, he would make them concessions. Period.
And that's the thing. One of the things I use to show people is like this in his mind, which you don't get to where he is and be as great as he is by not thinking that. But you gotta read the room, situational awareness, all that good stuff at this point.
Yeah.
You just gotta let it be.
Yeah.
You should not have a higher usage rate than Austin Reeves, my man. Just let Reeves was averaging close to I think he's still averaging 23, 24. He was averaging like 27, 28.
Yeah.
Like let that man get off. Like, go average your 18 points, man. Just go sit down somewhere. Just be easy.
And I mean, it'll be more controversial, especially when you're this late in the season, to like really, really cut back on LeBron's minutes. But as the Lakers, as an organization, you gotta think long term, big picture here.
He won't be there next year. This is why again Rich Paul, like Bron's not going to be here next year. Austin Reeves is going to be here for the next 10 years.
Yeah,
8 years. I'm not making a decision. You ask me to choose between LeBron and Austin Reeves right now, I'm choosing Austin Reeves. This is an easy choice.
It's too easy.
But some people will call you crazy. They're like, man, this is LeBron. But he's 40, about to be 42.
They still living it yesteryear, man.
Living on a name. So that one last thing, because I'm gonna make sure this one gets close. Y'all, all y'all LeBron folks out there with your 100 videos on your TikToks or whatever, the team is still better without him. I don't care what you say. It's just, and again, go listen to the rest of what I said, though. He's still a great player. Doesn't take away from anything from his career, but this team as it's constructed is better without him. Sorry. Get over it. So, last thing I want to close out on and I might not even close out on this. The Bam, like I wanted to, because the Bam 83 points. Because when I was recording this as it happened. Not this. I was recording the last show where I talked about it the same time, basically when it happened. I was like live doing it, and I just saw the numbers, and I saw my Kobe people going crazy, and I'm like, y'all chill out. I was defending the 83, but upon further review, upon further looking at this game and seeing how it transpired, first of all, let me say I love Bam. Bam is a good dude.
Good dude.
Great dude. This isn't about Bam. He didn't do anything wrong. He did do something wrong. He should have come out the game. He went along with this, but I still don't kind of blame him that much for that. Spoelstra should have done this. But this, everybody, like, don't leave that up to him. Don't leave it up. Like, what is he supposed to say?
Yeah.
They shouldn't have left it up to Bam. Good dude. But the way that happened was trash. Just like absolute New York dumpster on a hot, like just dumpster juice. That was bad.
I wish we could put it won't happen, obviously, but I wish we could put like a little asterisk by that 83 to say, hey, go back and watch how he got to the 83. One of the kind of things. But man, like he should have. Let me get the good parts, the good things out the way.
First quarter.
Listen, first quarter, he was red hot. And listen, at the end of the day, 83 is still 83.
I said that. I was like, you started doing an empty gym.
Yeah, that's still a whole lot of points to shoot, over 40 shots. I mean, the stamina and the energy you got to do to put up that many shots. I get it. But like you said, it was how he got to them 83 points. That fourth quarter,
that was trash.
That was disgusting. Because
disgusting.
And if you are the Wizards, now I know at points they were like, double and triple teaming them or whatever, but they really didn't have no in it. I mean, it's a pride standpoint, at least for them. It should have been a pride standpoint. But that team has been constructed to lose. So they have that mentality of, hey, we're losers. So they really won. They didn't really care. He was going.
It looked like they were trying to help him at one point.
Yeah.
Like, just to the opposite of what you said. Like they don't have any pride because they were trying to help. They were fouling him, and there's like they were trying to help him get to 83. That's crazy, man. And one thing that I didn't like, there were people said that Kobe would have been happy about that 83. No, he wouldn't.
No,
and it's not about Bam. It's about how he got it. He wouldn't like that. Man, he would have punched every one of those dudes in the face.
Yeah.
No.
Because I mean, even with Kobe's 81, that game with Toronto, that was a close game.
We were losing
up until like the fourth quarter, right?
Yeah, we were like he was in, and if you look at let me just take a step back from that. Like 2 weeks before that, I forget who we were playing. Kobe had 60 at the end of the third quarter 2 weeks before that. But Lakers were up by a bunch of points, and they tried to get him to stay in the game. He said, no. What about 20? He's like, no, for what?
It was like,
and he told him, he said, it'll happen again. He told him, he said, it'll happen again. He had 60 at the end of 3, was cooking, and he came out the game.
And see, that's the thing. Like, I don't know where Bam ended up by the end of 3 quarters.
He had 60.
That would have been notable. You know what I'm saying?
I would have got to 70 if I was him and just checked out. That was it.
That's fair. It's a nice round.
Nice round. 70, whatever, 70 something. And I was like, okay, cool.
But because we remember, like you said, Kobe scoring 60 in 3 quarters. We remember Clay when he scored like in 29 minutes. What was it, like 60 something points?
Something crazy.
He had another game where he only took 4 dribbles, like the 37 in 1 quarter. Like, come on, like it just that 4.
I'm not going. When we remember this, it's going to be Remember because once I went back and watched,
we're going to remember it for the wrong reasons.
Yeah, I didn't want to go. I wasn't going to delete what I said about it. I said it, but I said it before I watched how it happened. I wasn't going crazy, but I was just like, it's just hard to do whatever. I didn't get why people were going crazy. So now I understand why people were going crazy the way that they did. It's just like even his teammates fouling to stop the clock. Washington fouling him 46 free throws. I mean, he had to hit 43. He hit 36. Whatever. I think it was 36 or 43. went 7 for 22 for three. Like you said, the stamina to take to get up that many shots. But
Yeah.
when people are like, when they start like through 3 quarters, he was golden. He was
Mm-hmm.
golden. Like it was have no issues with most of that. The fourth quarter is just an
Nasty work.
abomination, man. It's an abomination of
Yeah.
basketball. Don't if you haven't watched it, don't because you'll
Please don't.
just don't. It was a complete waste of time,
Yeah.
and it's a shame. It just I don't like it because again I don't put in the stain or what because if Bam had 60,
Mm-hmm.
we looking at Bam like that's
Yeah.
so they didn't need to do it.
And like you said, Bam, he's known as a good dude, and like
Great
I said,
dude.
but we're gonna
Yeah.
remember that 83 for all the wrong reasons.
All the wrong reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So there's a what else you got, man? So we got I had to get back on those too, man. Anything you want to touch on? Anything you want to close out with today? Anything you want to say to the people, man? They ain't seen you in a minute, man. So
I know. I'm not gonna, we ain't gotta get into it. We can save that for a separate episode. But obviously today that new Spider-Man trailer came out. You know what I'm saying? It was a brand new day. A little excited about that.
So you did that was a nice little alley-oop. So just to let everybody know, we're going we were gonna talk about it today, but I already see we're almost at 2 hours right now.
Mhm.
I didn't think it was gonna have the proper time. It was right. So we're gonna do some more to talk about Spider-Man, Brand New Day. We're gonna talk about Doomsday. I just want to talk about some Marvel stuff, some DC stuff, kind of just DC being sold more so than just in what the future of them looks like. And just I want to do more movie stuff. I want to do more TV stuff. And got to give it its proper room to breathe. So yeah, that's coming up too. Talk about that trailer. We might get that because it's fairly new. I got to see what the schedule looking like, so we can get that something about the trailer knocked out. I like the tone of it. I like where Spidey's going. See more Frank in there. I don't want to see Professor Hulk again, but I don't want to start too much talking about it. But
he was already getting rolling.
I'll start rolling on it. So what else, man? What else?
That's about it. You know what I'm saying? You got a tournament about to start. NBA playoffs right around the corner.
Okay, so that's another thing. Okay, let's talk about sports. We may do some live because this is a bunch of tournament stuff. Well, I will definitely do something. I have to figure out when. I have to get some crew together. So y'all get ready. We'll come in and do some commentary, do some that. This is the perfect time of the year for that. So yeah, we'll be seeing that too. So I think that's it for me. I just want to tell everybody, like I said, the channel it's been growing, man. We've been getting a lot of new subscriptions, a lot of new the views, like the TI. I didn't get to talk to you about TI and 50, man. We gotta come back to that. I knew it was something I had to talk to you about, man. A couple of my TI and 50 videos did really well, man. So I appreciate everybody for that. And just continue to like, share, subscribe, talk about it, get the comments. So we'll be going live sometimes too. So just appreciate it, everybody. JCTV for the culture. That's the culture talk. So we'll see you next time.